Well, and that is exactly what's going to happen. I can tell you that a lot of the same people that are blindly defending Donald Trump right now were viciously attacking me when I was criticizing George W. Bush's foreign policy in the second term, and also criticizing his spending and huge deficits, and asking why I was a socialist, why I was a left-winger, why, when I had become a left-wing radical, when I was actually attacking him because he'd abandoned all conservative concepts as far as I was concerned. And, of course, the second George W. Bush got out of office, they started saying the same thing and then went overboard. And now the attacks, oh, my God. You would think George W. Bush was a socialist. The same thing will happen with Donald Trump. It's the game that they've been playing. I remember in 2012, me getting viciously attacked by people for criticizing Mitt Romney's campaign. Mitt's a friend of mine. The family's a friend of mine. But he was running what I thought was an uninspired campaign and was attacking him. And the same people who are defending Donald Trump now were viciously attacking me and defending Mitt Romney, if you can believe it. It's bizarre behavior. It's happened in the past. It's going to happen this year, too. If Donald Trump loses, it'll be Donald who by December, and everybody will be writing their books about how I won the war, how I saved the world from, the chaos of this man. But you look at the clip, those clips of Jonathan Swan, and you just see this is a campaign that is completely blocked in. I mean, they're talking about you don't want four debates if you're running Donald Trump's campaign. He may say he wants four debates. You don't want four debates. Look at the Jonathan Swan interview. He was completely lost. He had a blank, dead look in his eye. He was completely out of his element. He has been allowed to live like autocrats in his own world for the past 4 years, where he makes up an alternate reality, sets out an alternative set of facts, and he doesn't have anybody around him that's challenging him. That's not somebody that you want out on the stage one debate night, let alone four debate nights. So this suggestion that they do is foolish. Every time he goes out there, he's going to look just as bad as he did with Jonathan Swan. I mean, Joe Biden wasn't great in some of the early debates, but he did a lot of debates. Like he's been out there more than Donald Trump has. And John, you bring up a great point about their arguments. What are they going to do? Are they really going to argue that Joe Biden is out of it? Because every time they do, there's a clip where Donald Trump looks as bad or worse. Are they going to really talk about China? Because every time they do, there's a clip or a tweet about Donald Trump cozying up to President Xi, congratulating him for being a strongman, congratulating him for consolidating power more than any leader in China since Chairman Mao, congratulating him for being such a great leader on the coronavirus, or the Wuhan virus, as the president called it, after he forgot that he had thanked President Xi on behalf of Americans for doing such an incredible job on the coronavirus. I mean, he really has nowhere to go. And let's bring in Jonathan. Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.